So it's actually kind of a long story. A few years back, R.A. Salvatore is a famous fantasy author. He's 20-some-time New York Times bestselling. He created Drizzt Do'Urden. It's like a dark elf, dual scimitars, very popular character. He created this world. And after he had sort of figured out what he wanted to do, he crafted this massive timeline. We have 10,000 years of history that he wrote down. It's like a 90-page document of, you know, this age happened, and then these are the elves, and they came from here, and they love those guys, and they hate those guys, and this is why, and there was a war between these people, and then this city fell, and then this economy collapsed, and like, you see that kind of, you know, crazy web of interconnected events and people, a lot like real history, right? So you see how all those things kind of play together. He built that, and then a few years later, so Kurt, this is complicated, the company started building an MMO set in that world, in the world of Amalur. Then Big Huge Games became available for purchase. Kurt Schilling bought us, our studio in Baltimore, Maryland, in the States, and we started working on Reckoning, on a single-player game in that same universe. So we're set about 2,000 years before the MMO, but we're both kind of both happening, you know, both games being built at the same time, and all kind of fleshing out that universe. So that's where we're at now. So there's a few different things we set out to do from the beginning, and the big one you probably even heard about in our marketing materials, which is the combat. So we knew how to make an RPG. We had a lot of folks, including myself, who'd made RPGs before, but we wanted to take them and do something with them they haven't really done, which is really, really good melee action combat. You know, we wanted to have the kind of combat experience you have in something like Bayonetta or God of War or Devil May Cry, but still under the hood, be an RPG. Have all the stats and the number crunching and the inventory and the loot and all that good stuff, but just feel better on a moment-to-moment basis. Yeah, so the Destiny system is sort of our approach to class. Most RPGs handle class in one of two ways. Either you start the game, and this is how most of them do it, you start the game and you have some list, and it's like, do I want to be a warrior or a wizard or a rogue or whatever, and you have to decide that in the first 30 seconds of the game, and you don't necessarily know what you're doing. Now, if you're used to the genre, you might say, oh, I always play a rogue, I'll play a rogue again. You know, which might work out, or it might turn out that rogues actually aren't all that fun in this game, or they're not what you expected. And then you're like, oh, I'm sad. I'm 80 hours into this game, and now I'm not what I wanted to be. So there's that issue. The other way RPGs sometimes approach it is the opposite. They don't have class at all. They say you can do whatever you want. You can do all the magic and all the spells and all the, you know, master the bow and the sword. And the problem that I have with those is that in the end of it, you're mushy. We're all kind of the same. Like your character and mine just have different hats. Otherwise, we're pretty much the same. So the Destiny system mechanically is built to avoid both of those problems. You start the game, and you don't pick a class. You just pick your race and your gender, and then go. And you've got maybe 30 minutes or so of the opening dungeon to experiment with different playstyles. We let you throw a ball of lightning, swing a sword, shoot a bow, do some stealth attacks, get a feel for what the different playstyles kind of feel like in play. Then after you know, like, all right, that's fun, this isn't my cup of tea, etc., then you're going to level up for the first time. When you level up, you can spend points in 3 different ability trees: might, finesse, and sorcery. So it's more or less fighter, mage, and rogue, right? You spend your points on those abilities, and first of all, you get abilities, that's cool. But second of all, you unlock destinies. And a destiny is a class you can equip for all intents and purposes. So if I spend all my points in might, which is sort of a warrior-themed tree, then I unlock fighter destinies. Whereas if I spread my points around between all of them, I might unlock the jack of all trades, the Renaissance man destiny, you know, or a hybrid between, say, fighter and rogue, so I get like the ranger destiny. And all of those have bonuses that apply to that particular playstyle. And you can be 5 hours into the game, or 50 hours into the game, or 300 hours into the game, and be like, no, I'm tired of this, I want to try a new path and invest points a little bit differently and unlock new destinies and change to those.
Thank you very much for answering those questions. C'était Brody pour Gaming Spirit, le site. Merci d'avoir regardé cette vidéo.
Au revoir.